Hello, it is Wednesday at about 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time in the US, and it is time for relaxing painting with Dice and Dungeons. We'll just see how relaxing it is today, but there is likely to not be any painting. It is time to assemble the missile decks. I have successfully, more or less, made the missile tubes yellow. Okay. There's 2 coats on there. They're not perfect, but I think they're okay. And if I select them carefully and rotate them so that the best side is forward, it should look okay. So what today is going to be is none of it's going to be very technically difficult, but it's going to be really tedious. Because what needs to happen is that each one of those missile tubes, okay, needs to set nicely into the wells down here on the lower missile deck. Right, and there's these little tabs here that are supposed to line up with little notches on the bottoms of those tubes, and then. That's a good sign, isn't it? I'm throwing it around. Each one needs to slide through one of the holes in this deck and then rest nicely in the wells up here. Okay? Now, the problems are going to be that the fit of the tubes in these holes was extremely tight. Very, very tight. And in some cases, I had to modify the tubes in order to get them to go through. But now they've got primer and 2 coats of yellow paint on them, so the diameter is going to be larger than it was earlier. And so it's most likely that probably 14 out of the 16 of these holes are going to be too small. And so a really crucial thing is to get them to slide through these holes without scraping off the yellow paint, because that would be a lot of work. On the base here, the issue is going to be that there's some paint buildup on the bottoms of these tubes, okay, because of all the spraying, and they might not fit into these wells very well. So the tedious sequence of events, okay, this is a tedious sequence of events, is I need to look at each of these tubes. They have these little notches on the bottom, and as you can see, they're oriented differently, right? I mean, they can't all be oriented the same way, right? So I need to find 7 of them that are oriented with the notch on this side that look really nice from the front. And then the rest of these will be in the back, okay? And hopefully I'll find a good side. Now, what is probably going to happen here is that the good side isn't going to line up with the notches, and so I'm going to have to file a little notch in on the side where it's supposed to be. These 7 in front are the most important. And then this one is the weird special one. This is where the spring-loaded little lever is located. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I have to go through all of these, try to find the correct orientation so the good side is forward so that they all look really nice. I mean, I can see right now that there's a couple where they do have a bad side, and that bad side should not be showing. So yeah, selecting them all, lining them up, right? Keeping them lined up, getting them to fit into these wells, and then getting them to slide through these, meaning reaming out probably. So, great. Needing touch up. There's a spot there. I thought it was dust, but it's not. Yeah, I can't. Okay. And then getting them through all of these, And then if I can get all 16 of them setting here nicely, set through here nicely, okay, then I can make this tube sandwich, which is what it's going to look like, this tube sandwich. Fit into the slots on this bulkhead, and then slide into the deck, fitting into the slots on the bulkhead that's already installed. So, yeah, I have not been looking forward to this. Like I said, I just need to be really careful not to mess up the yellow paint, because it's just unpleasant getting that done. Okay, there's 2 coats on there. They look okay, kind of. One minor thing I need to do before I get too far along, though, is that this thing here is the hatch that opens. It's the opening hatch for the missile tube that gets launched. Okay, and I mean, if you can see the issue here is that this bit here doesn't fit into this slot here. So I need to make it bigger so that I can slide this in. I'm going to be leaving it open. I'm not going to be messing with it opening and closing, but there is that. So I think I'll start with that. Looking at it from this side, I'm going to just do some filing, gentle filing down to make this slot a little bit bigger. How much I need to do, where exactly, but we're probably just dealing with another situation where why is this live online under the game artifact? Usually that's not how it goes up. I have no idea what the game artifact is. I don't know if this is streaming properly. Is it supposed to go under Dungeons and Dragons? Good. I dropped it, and it fell under the workbench. I'm going to be gone for a while I find the piece that I dropped. This is not an auspicious start. I dropped it, and I can't believe I knocked it under the workbench. Why? As I go searching here, what a pain in the butt. This is just absurd. I dropped that little piece. It's fairly big. It's like almost a ½ inch in diameter. You know, it just disappeared. You can get another one from one of the other kits, but seriously. Okay, I have to keep looking. I'm really sorry. Um, I hope this isn't an inauspicious start to the day. I dropped that little hatch. It fell on the floor and just totally disappeared. It went under the workbench, but I don't know how far. I need to find a replacement. I've got 3 kits that I needed to get enough pieces to make one model, and it's a good thing I did, because in this particular case, I managed to just absolutely totally lose a highly visible piece. So I hope I can find another one in one of these kits. I've got 2 others. Oh my, what a inauspicious start to this day. I mean, just really, really crappy start. Seriously, wow. Yeah, I'm just looking through all these pieces. Okay, that's the part I need. No, that's not. That's the top deck. It's not the middle deck. That was like, okay, if anything was going to go badly today, if anything was going to go bad, that's not the thing I expected to go bad. Okay. Sorry, that's the part I need. I need to start over with that. This is not the first time you can see it's not tiny, right? It's not an invisible little piece. But, yeah, it just totally disappeared. I watched it flutter down to the floor and go up under the workbench. I think that, if we ever move this workbench, it's quite heavy and large. There's so much stuff under it. We'll probably find like gold bullion, or I don't know. Who knows what we'll find under there? It's just okay. I'm gonna have to spend. This is really stupid. I am really not happy about this. I'm gonna have to spend some time fixing, cleaning up this part, because it's really kind of a mess. It's not done well. I'll get it to fit, and then I have to paint it. Oh, man, I am so ticked off. This X-Acto knife is no longer sharp. That doesn't help either. Okay, so today started off, all I was trying to do was like file down less than a 64th of an inch, a fraction of a millimeter on that deck opening. Let's see, maybe this will fit. Maybe this one will fit even. Yeah. Okay. Well, at least this I need to clean it up, and then I need to paint it, and it's painted the same color. Basically, it's painted the color. And the primer is a spray paint, and I need to do that in the garage. I'll do it during break. I know the thing fits, so I'll just take care of it during break. It dries really quickly, and then I'll be able to put it in. But I'm going to do a lot of sighing today. So, cheers or tears. We started out with some tears, and not the good kind of tears, like the tears you can get by going to patreon.com/DysonDungeons, where you can sign up for several tiers, spelled differently. They're not lachrymose tears, they're like levels. Hey. If you hear that, I'm hoping that the dogs are like having fun, like with a game or running around or something, and not. I'm guessing that somebody just got home from a meeting and that was their greeting. At least that's what I'm hoping is going on. That was pretty rambunctious. Okay, yeah, I'm not even on screen. Man, oh man, oh man, oh shucks. Okay, so I'm just cleaning this up, and then I'll retest the fit. There's this circle in the bottom. It's a raised circle. Check. That's going to show because I'm going to leave the hatch open. I'm going to gently file away that molding flaw. Yeah, give it a little polishing. That was just amazing. Amazingly stupid and terrible. What can I say? Other than, wow. Yeah, what a start to Submarine Wednesday. Well, thankfully, I guess, I do have these extra kits, and I was able to find a replacement part for the one that is now somehow lost under the workbench. There's probably like 4 or 5 different parts of different like minifigs and models and stuff under there, because I seem to drop things and they disappear. You know what I really should do? I should do that. I'm going to put this on my list of things that I really should do that I probably won't ever get around to doing because I can't remember it, you know, when I have time to do it. What I really need to do is like put a skirt. It's just like a 1.5 inch gap at the bottom of the workbench. But if it went all the way down to the floor, then when pieces dropped, they would bounce off of the skirt, right? They would bounce off of the skirt and end up on the floor somewhere, maybe where they could be found, as opposed to going underneath it, where they seem to go into like an alternate dimension. I'm really convinced. I mean, I looked under there and there's all sorts of weird little stuff that nobody really ever dropped. So I'm going to speculate that, in fact, the bottom of this workbench is an alternate dimension. Okay. Well, this one fits anyway, so I don't have to mess around filing anymore. Unless, yeah. But you can see it's a different color. That's not good. I need to paint it. So that'll happen over break because I have to spray paint it. And it dries quickly. Anyway. Oh, geez, yeah. I'm almost afraid. I'm almost afraid to start on the rest of this. Okay, I'm going to put on some gloves, just because I don't want to mess up the paint, that yellow paint, with my fingers. So I'm going to put these on. This was this thing I made. This is a thing I made to hold them while they were spray painted, and it was okay for the first coat. Okay, but then they're still uneven. They really could use a third coat, but I don't want to keep building up paint on them. This is really big and clumsy. I am actually going to take all of these off, deal with them one at a time, and just locate them. In 16 different positions. Out. Go. This is the one with the spring-loaded thing in it. Man, it just, yeah, it's really not good, but it'll do. Looking for this, I set the box of parts on the floor, right where I would probably step on it. Fortunately, just missed. All right. So I'll just pick one at random here. Pick this one, right? I'll look at this and say, that's a good side. If I put this in like this, it would look okay. And the slot's there, and the slot's supposed to go on. And so this one could successfully fit. In the front here. See if they fit in these holes. They're really quite shallow. So this one can go in front. Tubes. This one can go in front. Okay. This one can go in front. Yeah. And it'll nestle in these things. So that's 2. Let's see how this one would look. Not great. This one looks okay. I want to get like 7 of these that can go up front. The ones in the back, I don't know. I mean, I'm going to be picking the ones that don't have a good side. This one might be okay. Really crappy there. I'm picking ones with the slot on the side that slot. Sometimes the slots just need to be opened up a little bit. When I get to the back row, the good side might not be on the right side because of the slot. So I'm going to, on occasion, I guess, rotate them, I think. These had come out better. They're okay. You know, they look kind of okay, but it's not. What I'll do, I think. Yeah, I'm being quiet today because this is kind of a pain in the butt thing to be doing. Six of them there. Spend a lot of time on these missile tubes, and they're just not as good as I'd like them to be. They're just not. I was a kid, it was so much easier. It was just a matter of, I slapped some paint on them and stuck them in, right? Just slap some paint on them, stick them in, and they were yellow, and there it was. It was glued together. That's all it needed to be. Okay, so I've got 7 that if they're lined up the way they should be, they look okay. I'm going to check these others to see if there's any that look better. Too bad. Look through the others to see if there's one that, if this is better than some of the others. And then in the back row, like I said, if open up the slot. Rotate it the other way. This one looks pretty good, but I'm not sure. I'm not seeing any that look better than the ones I picked. I'm seeing some that are definitely worse. Okay. So now I'm going to look at the back row and just make sure that the side facing out. See, that one's okay. And just do them one at a time here. Okay. You know, this one needs to be like buried in the middle somewhere. Needs to hide in the shadows. This one too, it's just... Well, this is working out. This is working out, so it's going to be okay. In terms of, you know, how they look when they're put into it. So there, this is the front row. This is the back row. That should work out okay. I need to take the tape off of this and see how it ends up looking, right? Tape did its job and protected. I have to check to make sure the music is playing because, boy, right now I don't have much to say. Okay, so the tape is off, and I need to see if this lever still... Oh, yeah, there's tape on the bottom. It's not going anywhere as long as that's there. The tape, of course, is sticking to the tweezers. So there's this tape on the bottom that protected the little... prong in the tape is very much painted over. There we go. Now I got a pile of yucky little paint scraps there. So this lever is supposed to move. It still does. That is good. It is a good thing that it's moving. And then this is supposed to fit in here. Like that, and it does. That's good. It's like a little ragged edge there. Let's see if I can get that off without damaging anything. Okay. One thing I need to do, I said I wouldn't be doing any painting, and I kind of lied, is the bottom of this going to show? Yeah. So I've got this dark gray paint, which is now covered with all sorts of little specks, because it's all filthy. I need to paint just the bottom of this dark gray. So the way this is looking right now is if I can get those tubes to go through the middle deck, it's not going to be perfect. The spray painting isn't perfect, but it'll look okay. At least the sides that are facing out. And if viewed as I keep saying, if it's viewed at a distance in dim light, it'll look terrific. I know where this one has to go. And I know that needs to be painted on the bottom. But let's see if it'll fit through its hole. Nope. Okay, I can feel it kind of binding. Okay. Which means that if I try to push it, it will scrape off some paint. So what I'm going to be doing, this is the really tedious part. Using this file, this little round needle file, and just going around and around and around, trying to make that opening larger while still maintaining its circularity. And I'm not in danger of making it too big. It's not my concern. I'm hoping this works. I'm not sure how much filing I need to do, because I'm not sure how much plastic is coming off. Usually this plastic is fairly soft. That's the thing I'm trying to avoid, is having this pop up and then scratch something. And I don't know why I would do that. Okay, let's see if this has gone anywhere. I don't know. Yeah, okay. It's still sticking a little bit on the way down. But there it is. You can get it out now. I guess there's really no need to take it out. But that's the process. Okay, that's the process it needs to go through. And then this is how these all fit together. That will end up going there. And now I need to do 15 more of those. So I'll just take one of these. I guess it doesn't much matter which one. These holes are a little different in size than the others. Yeah, they're all kind of They're all kind of sticking here. This doesn't slide easily in any of them. So what I did to that one, I'm just going to keep doing. I really wish I could take this out. But no, I mean it's just going to scrape. So it's in there, and it's going to stay there now. These others I want to make big enough so I can take that in and out again. Because otherwise, they're just going to be in the way of. They're just going to be in the way of the piling. It's unfortunate that that one is now stuck in there, but it is. So I want these holes to be big enough so that they slide. That I can just not only slide them in, but that I can take them back out again. The danger here is that scratch that up. So this is what you're going to be seeing me doing now for the next forever. Is just slowly and surely, don't call me Shirley, reaming out these holes so that they're large enough now for the missile tubes that are slightly larger in diameter, because they're painted. Fastest way to do this, but if it works, it works. I know they all need to be bigger, so I'm just going to, do that on all of them. And I know this does make them bigger because that one from it wouldn't go through to it did. But then it's stuck in there. That was an unfortunate thing. Anyway, yeah, this is great fun. Just running this file around the inside of these holes. Yep. Yeah, but I warned everybody. That that is what was going to happen, because the missile tubes, which just barely fit in there with the primer on, have 2 coats of yellow paint, glossy yellow paint, which kind of built up on them. Some of the other kits, this particular deck might have larger holes, but they were really badly warped. This one is warped, but it's not really badly warped. It's just sort of moderately warped, as opposed to badly warped. So this is the one I chose. Yeah, you need to live with your choices, right? To say this is really pretty dull and boring. But I knew this was going to happen, that I would have to be enlarging these holes, maybe considerably, for some of these tubes. There's a couple of tubes that are even, they're all very tight on here. It's barely fitting. But there's a couple of those tubes that are even slightly larger in diameter, it seems. Their tightness is even tighter. So I'm doing it this way, trying to keep it from like becoming an oval. You know, I mean, that wouldn't do any good at all. Those are round, so it would, you know, if I open it up fore and aft or port to starboard, it still wouldn't fit. So I'm hoping that by rotating this little needle file inside the hole like this, that it enlarges it uniformly, maintaining its circularity. We'll find out. Plastic is coming off because it's getting all over the file. Can't tell if it's enough or not, but I'll probably be doing this for like the next hour. This is creating dust. I think I might even put this down. Set it down like that. And I can clean up the dust later. Makes a noise now too. You know, what I really should do is just say, well, there's one missile tube. That's an example. We'll use that as the prototype example. And just the rest of them, you can imagine that they're there. Okay, well, I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't really see it very well. Let me move this. I'm going to move this just for a second. There's an addition to, sorry, I just want to show you what's behind me. I don't know if you can very clearly see it. There's a frame there. There's two frames, actually. Those are original production cells of Tom Terrific. I was talking about Tom Terrific the last couple of streams. Tom Terrific was a cartoon short that appeared on the Captain Kangaroo show. An extremely immodest character. His theme song was "I'm Tom Terrific, the greatest hero ever." So that was quite a claim to make. And he, if you could see it, which you really can't because it's kind of far away. We should zoom in on that sometime so you can see them. They're really pretty cool. Tom Terrific was done in black and white. So the production cells, which are hand painted on, plastic film, are also done in black and white because it wasn't that it was done in color and then broadcast in black and white, which it was at the time, but they were actually done in black and white. Anyway, those are original production cells, and they show Tom Terrific. Tom Terrific used to wear this little funnel on his head. That was his thinking cap. He would put on his thinking cap when he needed to decide what form to take, because he could be what he wanted to be. He changed shape. He was a changeling. I didn't call it that at the time, but that's actually what Tom Terrific was. And also in the cell, and I haven't talked about this, is that after he was finished singing his song, the intro song. His dog came out, Mighty Manfred, the Wonder Dog. Mighty Manfred was basically he slept all the time. This isn't really good right here because this tube, I enlarged the hole and the tube was able to fit in it, but just barely. And now it's in the way of where's the file I need? There's a half round. Oh man, that's really what I need. It's flat on one side and half round on the other, and that would be just perfect for trying to enlarge this hole. Okay, so as I'm doing this, what I'm going to be doing is individually taking those missile tubes and seeing if any of them will fit in these what are now slightly enlarged holes. Okay, and I want to do that carefully. I don't want to do what I did with this one. I don't want to get one in and then not be able to get it out. I want them to be able to slide in and out. And then, if it does, okay, if I find them, I'm going to locate them from left to right in the location of the hole into which they fit, because each one is going to be different. So let me start, for example, I'll start on the back here, behind this one that got stuck. Okay, so like that one won't go in. Won't go in there. Almost went in there. So none of these holes right now are large enough for this one to go in. It does not. This one will fit here. And so it does. So this one's going. That one is farthest left. Doesn't fit any of the holes. This one's already taken. The first two are taken. And the last one is taken. Second hole. there. These two are left. Okay, this will not fit in either one of those. Nor will this. So these two are both a little large. These two holes need to be made significantly bigger. And actually, it wouldn't hurt if this one were a little bigger also. But these two, those tubes are a little bigger, so the holes need to be a little bigger. Need to do the same thing with the front row. So yeah, Tom Terrific's sidekick, which we didn't talk about. I didn't talk about it very much. Was Mighty Manfred the Underdog. And after Tom Terrific finished singing his Solipsis song on Tom Terrific, Greatest Hero Ever, showed off his changeling powers, Mighty Manfred would introduce themselves as, and I'm. Okay, Mighty Manfred was always sleeping, basically. I don't think the stream is going to the right place. No one's in chat. And it says that it's going to the game artifact. And I'm already an hour into this. I'm going to have to go upstairs. I really need to take a break here and find out what's going on. Okay, it's getting closer to fitting. That will go there. Okay, so you have to excuse me for a minute. I am going to take a quick break and find out what's going on with the stream, because nothing's showing up, and the online under the game artifact is just wrong. Something came up wrong on the stream. So I'm going to be right back. Okay. Music. Yeah, the music's back. The camera's not back. We just had a glitch there. There's always glitches, right? Glitch. This particular glitch was that Twitch decided to auto-assign all on its own. No prompting, no whatever. Auto-assign us to streaming under the game that doesn't even really exist any longer. Lovely, huh? Okay, well, that'll work there. Okay. That's done carefully. Does it fit better anywhere else? It doesn't fit there at all. fits in the fifth one. This fits in the fourth one. Okay, that's picky. It'll fit in the seventh one. I want to make it a little bit bigger, but not much. So this one, this last one needs to be just a little bigger. And then the second to the last one needs to be fairly much bigger. So it needs to be enlarged quite a bit. So while I was on break, figuring out why this stream was going on, Twitch assigned it to a game that doesn't exist, so no one would find it. While I was on break and that was getting fixed, I found the piece that was missing. It wasn't under the workbench at all. It was under the stool. I found it by stepping on it. Not the best way. Not the best way to find things, but it works, so I don't... There, this is the one that needed to go in this hole. This is just larger than all the rest. So this hole is going to be has to be much, much bigger. Why is this? I don't know. I think what happened was there were, I needed to replace a couple of these tubes with another tube, and the diameters were just a little larger. In fact, there were some where the diameter was significantly larger, and they wouldn't fit through these at all. There were differences among the kits as far as this all went. So this hole is enlarged. It will not be noticeable. I've got, if I put these, they have to go in this order. Need to set on the base here. I'm going to take these off for the moment. I'll just leave them on. This piece didn't fit. Okay, that's not why I dropped it. Trying to get it to fit is when I dropped it. So what I needed to do was modify ever so slightly the spot into which it goes. So this goes in here. Now it fits now, okay. It doesn't quite close. Not that that matters, because I'm going to be leaving it open. But that slides in here, and it isn't really held in place. Okay, it can't fall through the slot that way. And when the missile tube is up against here, then it keeps it from falling through the slot. But now it fits okay. It's painted. This missile tube is going to show through the top like this a little bit. But one thing I'm going to need to do decide whether I want the top of that tube to be yellow, because it's not. The paint is kind of scuzzy looking. We'll be able to see it. It's going to show when the hatch is open. So what I am going to do here is it's going to show. So I'm going to take this tiny little bit of paint off here. And I need to touch up the very top of this tube. I have to decide whether to... I'm going to take off the paint so that the top of the tube is gray. Because the yellow paint, is really just on the outside. Yeah, this is getting yellow paint specks on everything. I'm going to have to try to clean that off. Using my blower there. I'm just trying to clean this up. There's little specks of paint stuck here and there. And I'm using a toothpick so I don't scratch the paint that's already on there, hopefully. Okay, so I've got these now. These tubes are set up so that they'll fit, okay? And then they need to set on this base here. This one is, okay, and once all of them are in, I make a sandwich out of this. Okay, so supposedly it's going to work. Make a sandwich out of this, and then this thing slides into the bulkhead in the other deck, and then this top one is supposed to go over the top of it after this is in place. And I practiced this once before, and it sort of works. It's real fiddly. Now, what they say one is supposed to do, I'll just grab one of these to show, is that these are supposed to be like cemented into this bottom deck. But I don't want to do that because I lose the flexibility then of being able to rotate them potentially, and and just getting them to set correctly. So what I have been planning to do, I'm going to give this a go. You know, they're supposed to go in here and then that's supposed to slide over it. I don't see that working. I can't see that working because it would require everything to be like perfectly lined up, and perfectly lined up is not something that I can expect to happen. So what I'm thinking of doing is either putting a little drop of contact cement. Let me just get another paper towel out so I can work with this without getting it too messy. Is putting a little drop of contact cement like right here on the inside, so it would not show. It would be on the inside of the tube, and it would be just enough to like hold it in place. Okay, so it isn't just sliding and bouncing around all over the place. So it's got a little bit of hold on it. But not so much that I can't like move it. So the thought here is to get all 16 of these tubes into this deck and then get them to set on here, and then to somehow slide that whole thing into the submarine. So what I can do, I can put the tubes in this deck, I guess. You know, they need to go in, and then get them somehow to set here. And I really do need to get them through here first before putting them on there. I'm pretty sure I need to do that because I can't get all 16 of them to slide, 15 in this case, to slide through and cooperate. So let me do that. I mean, I guess that makes sense. See that slots are lined up the way they should be. Maybe this is how it'll go. Maybe it'll go on upside down like this. I'm not sure. This is going to be a thing. Lava paint here on the bottom. That's going to keep it from setting well. They move it. This is just really fiddly. But at least they're going in. There's that. That fit. It did before. I was concerned. Okay, so I'm going to flip this over so one can see. Yeah, so all these missile tubes are, there being missile tubey. Oh, they're all supposed to nicely set. Yep, they're all supposed to nicely sit in their little bells. And this is where I'm just going to do this over. This is where I am going to put that little bit of like rubber cement in these, because I want them to kind of like when they're sort of set, okay, when they're setting where they should be, I want them to stay. Getting this all to just sit in place and then cooperate while it's being pushed into the... Yeah, we'll see. So I don't think this is going to hurt. I don't think this will hurt anything. This one. Contact cement will be better. No. This hold. Okay, so the tubes are in this in the deck. Okay, so that's a breakthrough, kind of. Then getting them to set on here is a horse of a different color, as they say. congealed. Rubber cement is just, it does that, right? It just congeals too much. Other stuff. This is contact cement, which works best if it's on both surfaces, but it's basically just putting it on the tabs. Inside of them. I don't want it to show. Assembling this backward compared to the way the directions say, and I'm hoping, let's just say it should work. I really didn't want to use the model cement on this because it dissolves the paint. If it gets on any of the surfaces where it's not supposed to be, it just makes a huge, irreparable mess. Okay, this, and it doesn't give. I mean, this gives flexibility for quite a while, really, without losing adherence. I mean, it just stays sticky. Keeping my gloves on because I don't want to mess up the paint on this. This might work. Yeah, this one just isn't cooperating. Yeah, see, it's not grabbing. I was hoping that contact cement would grab these a little better. I'm down here trying to get these in, so I'm rotating this while I'm holding it firmly. Nice. It's how it's supposed to be. That would all just set there. I am going to try this. Okay. Don't know if this will work. If not, I can take it apart again. But I am actually going to move things around here. Getting the submarine hull. And I'm going to try to put this in. This is the submarine, and this is where it goes. Has to be like perfectly in that slot. The way this is going to work is I'm going to get these in, put these decks in, and then I'm going to then rotate the I'm going to just, that's how I'm going to have to do it. I'm going to get this deck in and then rotate and set those tubes into place. I can do that now. They'll be held firmly in place by the deck above it. This is going to be, yeah. This will be a problem if these tubes, if some of these tubes are too tall. Yeah, that would be an issue. Here. Getting so close. So close, but not quite, you know? What I need to do is get these tubes lined up at the top, at least on the front. So this is setting perfectly, okay? But the tubes are there, okay? They're a little bit, so they're a little crooked. Okay, that's it. Okay, it's not setting quite right. The like the ones in the back aren't on. I don't know, like this is bowed up, right? And what I really should do, which would be the right thing to do, but a very difficult thing to do, very difficult thing to do. Yes, there should be, is I should put some model cement right in the center on this tube and hold it down so that it's just like that. And then that would be just, it would hold together well. Doing that is like a huge challenge. I'm going to take that challenge, but I'm going to use the contact cement instead. Okay. So to keep this from being bowed up in the middle, what I'm going to try to do is get contact cement in the tops of these two tubes and up there, and then hold it down like that. This one, I don't know what's up with this. They're rotated like 180 degrees. Let's use the tweezers on it, because that raises the possibility of scratching the paint. Yeah, so these things are not uniform in height, right? So some of them are fitting tight, some of them are loose. I guess it doesn't look too bad. I can get these. Okay, so I'm gonna try this. This is risky now. That little bit of cement up there will be enough to make it hold. And if it does, then I will be done. Hoping that works. Just hold it for a little while here. You shouldn't have to do that with contact cement, but I'm going to because I want it to hold. Be better. That's not grabbing. I think it just needs to be held for a while, and then maybe it'll hold. I could do the same thing with the model cement, and I'm sure it would hold, but it could also really make a mess of the paint and everything. So, yeah, I got real quiet there because I was fiddling around trying to get, I don't want that boat. I want to hold it down, and that will do it. If this would just hold in place, just like this, then I will be done with the missile game. And it looks, it isn't perfect, but it's okay. It looks okay. But it comes down to that. And I'm really hoping that this contact cement will be enough to hold it. Everything else is there. But the problem is that this missile tube, a couple of these missile tubes on this end, are like just a little bit bigger than some of the others. And this one in particular is like pushing up on it. Okay, well, I'm going to just hold this now for a few more minutes while I talk about what I'm going to do next. The next part is pretty straightforward. I've actually got all the pieces for it. Is the reactor room, which is back here. And it starts by putting this shield wall, it's called, in here. That just goes in like that, and it's held in place by this other bulkhead. And then the reactor components go in around it, and those are already painted. I did those last week. So, this is a little fiddly. It has to fit just perfectly into the slot on both ends and so on. But I don't want to mess with this until just bump into stuff until this is holding. So I'm going to see if this contact cement will hold. If I give it a little bit of time, usually it grabs right away. If it doesn't work, and it looks like it's not. It's just not grabbing. Well, actually it is. It is grabbing, but it's not set. Okay. So I'm going to need to put some pressure on that. It isn't much. It just needs to be held in place like this. This stupid tube. Okay, this one's a little too big and this one's a little too small. So it just keeps moving around. Nice. If I had just like the slightest little bit of clamp, I don't have anything that would work on this. That tube is really annoying. This and this need to be switched. But that would mean taking this whole thing apart and kind of starting over, which I really don't want to do. Okay. Do this. And I don't know if it'll work, but I know that if I don't do it, it's not going to work, so I have to try. I'm going to can't hold this for the next half hour. I do need to take a break. Just go. I was hoping that the contact cement would just hold, but it's not strong enough to hold until it cures the bow that has formed in the center of this deck. I need to just have this a gentle pinch here, a very gentle pinch right there. And I don't have anything that's gentle. My clamps are not gentle. Painter's tape, maybe. Tape's not anywhere nearby. Rubber band. I don't think I can get a rubber band around that. Such little bits of pressure, such a tiny little bit of pressure. This I need to first of all, I got contact cement there that I need to cover up. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. Covered. Take this glove off. Maybe. Try to use this tape with this glove, and I know I'm importing potential. Yeah. Great. Okay, so I'm having neither tears nor cheers. Okay. Kind of like happened with this once before. Is that I need a third hand. Okay, that's going to have to just be let loose for now. Putting it on there, pulling it down, taping it on the bottom, and hoping that that holds. I think maybe that'll hold well enough. The contact cement to set, okay, to cure and hold. I'll find out after break. I'll find out later. The bottom of that needs to be painted. I can do that when I get back. Next line up. A lot of dust. Well, if anything will work, that'll work. If not, I'll have to try some other kind of adhesive thing. I was kind of hoping that the top part would just slide right in there and fit well. Okay. That would just be that, but it didn't. And I've got one missile tube here that's just recalcitrant. I don't know. Should we take a chance? Let's take a chance and install this also. I fit this once before, so I know it does fit. There. That's the shield wall. That's the reactor room. So that this part's now ready for the reactor to be installed. If I can get this to work, I can get the reactor installed yet after break. If I can't get this to work, then I'll have to try some other alternatives. But I've got all the pieces for the reactor room, and it'd be pretty cool if I got that done. Then I'd just be down to the machine room down at the end here. But I do need to take a break. I need to get something to eat, and I need to hydrate a little bit, and I need to let that cure. Hopefully it'll cure. Yeah, hopefully that'll cure, and let's see what it looks like when I get back. If not, I'll try something else. But there, I mean, if this holds together, you can see that a good deal of the submarine will be completed, and there's, nose cone and tail. There's a lot of little stuff that needs to be done to this yet, but yeah. If I can just get that to work, then I can be really close to moving this along here. But break time. I'll be back about 1:45. Well, back from break. I've got some contact cement on this holding down the upper deck above the missile tubes. Hopefully getting the bow out of it, because just for some reason these tubes right on this side, maybe in the back, are, I don't know, I'm looking at them. They seem to be in the right place. They seem to be located okay, but they're a little bit taller. So I put some contact cement on here, and I'm hoping that will hold. If it does, then that's terrific, because then that problem isn't there anymore. If it doesn't, well, then I'll have to try something else, and I'm not sure what that'll be. But yeah, it'll be something. It seems to be in the right location. Because I'm waiting for that to do its stuff, which is to hold, I'm going to move on from there, from the missile room, to the reactor deck. And the reactor deck is kind of cool. It's the reactor and the heat exchanger. And I got all these parts done earlier. We've got the reactor core here, and I've got this bulkhead, the heat exchanger. Oh yeah, there's one thing that I need to work on. So I don't know if you can see it, but on this locker right at the top there's a circle, and that's the kind of mold mark that keeps showing up on stuff. And I thought, well, maybe I'll just leave it. Okay, maybe it looks like it's part of the locker or something, but every time I look at it, I go, it's just not good. Maybe I can paint it a different color to make it look like there's... Okay, so I have two choices here with this little circle thing, which is not supposed to be there. That's just a mold flaw. Is I can paint it a different color, like maybe black. Okay, I might just paint it black to make it look like it's supposed to be something, because there's a locker here and a radiator, so I might just paint. I could do that, or I can scrape it off and repaint. What I'm going to do, there's a touch up there too. It's weird, there's just a light spot, but it doesn't show. I think I'm going to paint it black. I can either paint it, or I can mark it with one of these pens. I'm going to try this. Put on my head magnifiers, and hopefully... Well, the problem with the pen is that if it messes up, I can't touch it up because the paint dissolves it. This goes in here like this. Okay, as part of the mechanical room. It is not actually part of what needs to be worked on here. Oh, we're going to have to be painted dark gray. I can maybe do that. There's a deck that goes across the top of this, and the bottom is supposed to be dark gray, and that needs to be dark gray too. So maybe I'll just paint that dark gray. Just do everything in one color, because I need to do it. And then I'll work on assembling the reactor deck while I wait for this contact cement to cure. Yeah, so there we go. I'm going to do these things. I'm going to do some relaxing painting. Hopefully it'll be relaxing with a little bitty brush. Ooh, you came on. You missed the excitement Let me show, and then I'll do a flip before I move on to the reactor room. I got the missile tubes inserted into the missile decks. Yeah, and the only problem I ran into is that a couple up here are a little bit large. Okay, like right along here. Either I'll look at it through my head magnifier, but they're not fitting quite right. Okay, and as a result, this deck is bowed up a little bit, and so I put some. Yeah, it is actual progress, and I got the reactor room barrier wall here. I got that in place. That's pretty good, right? So, yeah, this whole thing is moving along. If I can get this to work, it would be very nice. Oh, maybe. Okay. Yeah, it's been a clumsy morning. I dropped some things, I lost it, found it by stepping on it. Maybe the problem here. Yeah, I mean, there is a problem there. And that might be part of it, is that this missile tube in the back is way out of place. And it's pushing up. It's pushing up on things. And I just really jammed in there. Really hate to take this whole thing apart, but that missile tube needs to be the front of it needs to come forward. Both of these, if they were both I wonder how I can get in there. I don't want to take this apart, but because of that one tube back there, which is very much out of place, I mean really out of place, this whole thing is kind of a problem. So rather than doing some relaxing painting, now that I have these on and I can see what the issue is, just I don't know how to fix it. But that's a problem. That's the problem. And it's way in the back. I'm going to try a few things. I'm going to try to lasso it and pull it forward. Seriously, I think I'm really going to try to do this. This is pretty good string. I hate to waste some of it, but get it around it. I might be able to pull on it. That's what's bowing everything up. It's really, when your blade is dull, this X-Acto knife is just not. It's useless now. I have some other blades. I'll probably should pull them out. But when you can't even cut a piece of string with it, I'm not sure I could even cut my finger with it. This other one isn't any better. Sorry, I'm trying to get something. I'm trying to fix a problem that is in a very, very difficult place to fix. What has happened is that the missile tube in the back there, you know, it moved when I tried to put it, when I put it in. And now it's sort of jammed in. It's sort of jammed in there. And because it's jammed in there, I need X-Acto knife tips. Yes, I do. I think I really do need those. So it's way in the back, way in the corner. And I need to pull it forward, and I mean, I can take this apart. It's not cemented in, but it wasn't easy to get in to begin with. And I'm not looking forward to trying to do it all again if I can fix this in a different way. Being this bigger doesn't really make it easier. Depth of focus is really a problem. What I'm trying to do, so far with no success, is get this cord around the back of that missile tube. And then pull it forward. Well, I did that part. That was something. Now get all these parts out of the way. But you can't see it, but the problem is that the top of this tube not where it should be. I mean, not even close. And as such, it's causing the rest of the thing to buckle. To do this without touching the rest of it like I just did. It did. Pretty much in place now. Forward a little bit too far. And at least I got it. Really close to being in place now. But the other ones aren't. The other ones are. Now, let me see if I can repeat this. I did it once. Maybe I can do it again. The one next to it is also out of place. This is not how this was designed to go. But it took really a lot of the pressure off. I think the rest of it. I fixed one of them. Need to do it again. The one next to it's out of place too. The problem was that the top goes in last. And it just sort of slides in, but it also moves things around when it slides in. Head magnifiers, like I keep saying, these head magnifiers have no depth of field. And so when I get this in, I'm trying to focus on the back, but they're focusing up front. So now I just need to grab it. Yeah, that actually moved pretty easily. Or no. That's going to take a lot of pressure off of this. Though this next one over is also out of position, but I've got the tape there, so I can't really move it. I'm not going to mess with it, but it's closer now. It's closer now to not being a disaster. Okay. I was going to do some painting. So let me set this aside and get the bits that I was going to paint. I was going to paint this here and there and the bottom of that. Oh, let me do a flip here. I'm going to do a celebratory flip. This thing. 1, 2, 3. Six. 3 and 3. Yeah, I know. Not much painting. Tiny little dots of painting. So it's not entirely fixed, but it's better. And we'll just see what that... I mean, that one was really jammed badly. And you could hear it click when I moved it. So it's much better now. There's still a problem with one here, but that might have fixed, like, not the entire problem, but maybe 70% of it. Okay. This needs to be higher up like this in order to, because the deck comes across the top of it. It's this tiny circle here. Get rid of it or emphasize it. So deciding to emphasize it, I messed up. Forget. To get out the metric. I'm just going to leave it the way it is. I should have got the deck out and fit it on to make sure that it fit, but I didn't. The gray needs to go up. Yeah. Another deck above. I think this will be okay. I almost knocked that over. Jeez. Okay, the bottom of this one tube here just needs to be painted this color. I don't want to paint this thing in the middle though. That slides up and down, at least theoretically. So I'll paint up to it. Sorry about the sniffles. Second half of the stream is always like this. It's chilly down here, but it seems to always get colder during the after break.
Those are the only spots I needed. There's a little bit up here. It's over and really disaster. No, I am going to not paint on Friday or next Monday. There doesn't seem to be a lot of, seriously, there doesn't seem to be much going on here. I think until you came on, there was no thing at all. But where did my water go? I had one. I only needed one. Well, I have to go get some rinse water. Oh, there it is. Carefully put out of the way and out of sight. There. Yeah, I wish I could hydrate. I didn't bring anything down to drink after break. No, I decided because, you know, who's going to be watching relaxing painting this weekend? So I am not going to be doing any relaxing painting on Friday or on Monday. And then we'll be back. I guess I'll be back on Submarine Wednesday next week, the way this is looking. So this bulkhead doesn't really need to go in yet because it has nothing to do with this compartment. Let me see what order they think that this should be done. Valve and pipe. Oh yeah, the top of this needs to be, I need to find that piece. That there is yet another deck on top of these decks that goes here, but that's another story. Valve and pipe, 75. The boiler bottom, that's already done. I did step one, that's this. Cement boiler to reactor deck 71. Get these decks out. I am going to use the model cement for a lot of this because it does need to be held together. I'm just curious about the order in which they think all of this needs to go. Reactor, okay. Okay. Yeah, I got quiet here as I'm trying to figure out how this all goes together. They want this to be cemented on first. And then it's supposed to be cemented into here. Seeing how this fits. It doesn't fit. Oh, that's lovely. Always check these things, right? Is somehow this is supposed to go through this opening. Yeah. So this edge here is supposed to actually go all the way through. I don't know why that little slot is there. That doesn't make sense. But this is one of those, as you can see, that it does not go through there. So this hole is quite a lot too small for this to go in. And then this needs red. Okay, well, I can do this. There's always something, right? I think I was using this red. Is that right, this all goes together like this. But the bottom of this didn't get painted lovely. So I'm going to cement this on. And then I'm going to paint the part that didn't get painted. And then I'm going to get out my file and maybe, I think that would be worthwhile. And then I need to make that hole bigger because this needs to fit through. Let's see if the other part fits. This is supposed to fit here. Oh yeah, not even close. I mean, not even in the wildest, no. Not even close to fitting. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I tried to test these parts first, because this thing that should have taken like maybe 10 minutes to do is now going to take up forever. It's just going to be that way. Yeah, because the parts don't fit. This is supposed to fit in here. And this goes through, that little tab goes in this slot. It's not even close. I'm going to have a lot of filing here to make that work. I really should move this out of the way. I am going to take this out of the way just for now and cover it up, because as I'm messing around with this other stuff, I could have a disaster. Yeah, and I'm missing the one file. I don't know why I'm missing the one file I'd really like to have. It's a file that's shaped like this, except it's got a semicircular thing on one end, on one side. And it would be just really handy for doing what I need to do to get these parts to fit together. So I'm going to need this paint, and I'm going to need the model cement, which is nowhere to be found. Things were going okay. I mean, they were really kind of going okay there for a while, and then the parts don't fit, and I can't find the tools that I need. Yeah, I'm just going to keep looking here. There it is. Safely put away a place where I couldn't find it. Okay, so this can't be messed up. This gets cemented onto here. So I'm going to put the cement on the inside and hopefully not touch anything else, because this is nasty stuff. It dissolves the plastic and the paint and is probably highly toxic. I don't know. Use sparingly in a well-ventilated area. Right? All of that. Okay, I cap this up. parts together. Hold it for just a bit while I mix this up. There. Just need to get a little, you don't need the tiny little brush. Finding my brushes here. I'm finding this brush. I am painting a part that should have been painted when I... seriously? To go down even further. No, that sets there. Okay. I can't seem to do anything today. I'm glad I gave up on or moved on from I moved on from the missile room. I am now currently attempting to do something incredibly simple. Just silly simple. And failed at that. This stuff not holding. I do not understand what's happening here. I absolutely, totally do not understand why this is failing like this. Great. And then I got uncareful. Fortunately, it's in the back where I can touch it up. I just stopped. There. Get this paint on. I'm gonna see if I can knock the jar of paint over, and why not? Why not have a brush that's where the bristles are all jammed up because it didn't get cleaned correctly last time? It was a good brush too. My hand decided not to be steady. Nice. Okay, set that aside. Clean off the brush. Try to make these openings bigger by a lot. Yeah, wow, that's got a lot of paint on it. I'm going to have to clean that off with the alcohol. Okay, I'm going to start with this little one. And we'll go, we got another half hour, right? So this is supposed to fit in like this. It's supposed to go, that is supposed to easily slide through this hole. This hole is way smaller than that. And then this little tab here goes into this little slot there. And this beautifully painted reactor core. That looks pretty blazing, doesn't it? Yeah, that beautifully painted reactor core. We'll just have to wait until this gets expanded. That slot's big enough for the tab either, we'll find out. I know this isn't just paint buildup. Probably should have tried to fit these parts in before I even primed it and painted it, but I didn't expect these, which should be a really simple, straightforward fit, to be. I mean, I knew the missile tubes would be a problem, but I didn't think this would be. It's closer at all. Let's find out. Yeah, it's getting better. Let's just have this roll all over the place. Maybe in the process, have its paint be messed up. Supposed to go in like that. So this will fit. It's supposed to be cemented in. I guess it does, but we'll do that later. This needs to become much larger. Do the same thing to this as I did to the missile tubes. This had a lot of paint buildup on it. I guess that's part of the problem. Dark gray paint on this. spending a lot of time just watching me and run files and circles today. It's been working. I've been getting the pieces to fit. So, were you impressed by my lassoing technique on that missile tube? You know, running this cord behind it and pulling it? My most impressive modeling fix ever. I have to say, I'm not sure I could ever pull it off again. There's this model called a Visible Mustang. It was made by Monogram. I had one when I was a kid. And it was another one of those nostalgia things where I rebuilt it after they did a reissue. And there's a connecting rod that goes from a little bit of a geared motor that runs the landing gear. It has a tail wheel. Well, the connecting rod didn't cement into the socket in the tail wheel. It was like 7 or 8 inches inside the model. It was pretty deep, right? I mean, it's not a trivial thing. And so I actually did this. I threaded a thin plastic tube from the front wheel wells to the area on the back where the okay, now that fits. Okay, so that's supposed to go there. Let's see if this all fits. And this goes here, and those tubes go like that. So this whole thing ends up looking like this. Okay. Yeah, so there. Let's see if I can make that happen. So this part's fairly easy. Here, just put some cement on the top of that. This one is a little tricky. In terms of where the cement goes. And then these pipes should actually be cemented in here too, but I'm going to try not to do that. Using a toothpick. This has never worked before, but it might be better than trying to use the brush. I really wish that needle applicator were working. This would have been very easy to do. I could put it in the hole there, but as I run this through, then the cement would to push down, not on. So I'm trying to get it mainly on this tab. And I'm going to put a little on the inside of this. Maybe there's enough there then for it to hold. Doubt. It doesn't need to hold real hard. It just needs to hold. And then the cement here Goes basically around this collar. Should be able to do that. There's like a micro applicator brush, right? It's not. It's not tiny as one would hope. We'll be dropping things here. Hoping I'm not going to have to do too terribly much. Super careful work here. These parts they hold right where they are. I don't need to mess with these pipes. This one will hold. I'm not sure about the reactor. But that's how that looks. I know I got off camera quite a bit there. Sorry about that. So the way this works is the reactor core is on the left there. Very, very hot, steamy sort of thing. And a closed loop runs up through the middle. Cooler water coming in from the bottom. You'll see that in a minute. Heating up as it goes out. Comes out through this pipe, goes into the heat exchanger. Cools off as it goes from top to bottom, as symbolized by the yellow turning orange, and then flows back through that. And so the water that flows through the reactor is a closed loop and never comes out, which is a good thing because it probably picks up radioactivity and stuff like that would be bad. And then the heat from that, which is very, very hot, turns this into high pressure steam. And the high pressure steam goes out through a pipe on the top here into the engine room. And then all that superheated steam from the boiler, the heat exchanger, that's what runs the entire submarine. So if this all holds in place now, and that's holding, but the reactor just isn't. The reactor is not holding in place. I'm going to do this. This isn't the right thing to do, but I'm going to try to drop some cement onto this at the top. And like man, everything's coming apart. Okay, well. You just need to hold this for a while. But I want to cap this up, and then I'll come back and hold it. So I don't want that to spill. Now, if I can just hold this in place forever, that cement should start to set. So I'm going to hold this in place for like 5 minutes, I guess, because it's just what needs to be done. And then that's that. So, yeah. I am going to wait 5 minutes of holding this. This is pretty boring, but it needs to be done. And it needs to be done kind of like this. I don't see any alternative while I'm waiting for that cement to set up. And I can talk about Dyson Dungeons, but I can't show you any of it because I'm holding this. So Dyson Dungeons is a group of family and friends who play a Dungeons & Dragons campaign. It's more than a campaign. It is, in fact, a show. And we stream 3 Sundays a month, taking breaks now and then for holidays and travel. On Sundays at 2, that's with the live chat. And it's an amazing campaign put together in a world created by our dungeon mistress, Alexis. So if you haven't seen it, you really need to see it. It's amazing. Like I said, it's with live chat on YouTube. This is just like rotated. Okay. Well, I might have to cement that down at the bottom depending on how well this holds at the top. Right now everything's wiggling. Anyway, if you don't catch it on the live stream, you can catch it on YouTube. All the past episodes are showing on YouTube, and you really need to catch up on the past episodes, get to know our characters really well. Yeah, that's what Dyson Dungeons is. It's a Dungeons & Dragons show, and it's a really good one. And we have over 100 episodes, and you should watch them. And this relaxing painting thing started because we produce really pretty amazing dungeon tiles on the 3D printers behind me. I know if I'm going to be holding this, I might as well hold it on camera so you can watch that I am actually holding it. And that's all I'm doing, is sitting here holding this while I'm hoping for the cement to set enough so that I can stop holding it at some point. Yeah, we started painting dungeon tiles, which I can't show you because I'm holding this, and minifigs that we use in our show. And and so our DM said, well, you know, if you're going to bother going through all the trouble of painting them, why don't you stream the painting as well? And so that's how Relaxing Painting with Dyson Dungeons started, is painting dungeon tiles and minifigs for our Dungeons & Dragons show. Submarine Wednesday started because one time I ran out of minifigs and dungeon tiles and started doing a model. And as you can see, assuming the missile deck comes out okay, and I can get this actually to hold together, is probably like 75% done, I'm going to say. It doesn't look like there's not much more to do, but there is. I've got 4 decks in 2 compartments of equipment. I need to find all the pieces, sand them and file them so that they all fit and that they aren't flawed. The painting won't be too terribly challenging. There's only like 2 colors that'll be going into it. The machinery is kind of a beige white kind of color. That takes 3 coats though, at least 2, sometimes 3, so you know that takes a while to get painted. And the floors are brown. Hopefully the floors will only need 1 coat, maybe 2 for touching up. But yeah, there's just a lot of little bits and parts and edges, especially edges that need to be very carefully painted and then touched up so that where the machinery is on the floor, in about half of the instances they're molded into the floor, which means that I can't just paint them separately and cement them together. Yeah, so probably like 75% done. So once I get those machinery engine rooms and machine shops and everything done, then there's still bits to do. I need to put the nose cone on, put the tail fins together, paint the propeller. There's a fair amount of repair work that needs to be done to make those fit. And then the last parts are to mask this whole thing off and spray paint the hull so that the hull doesn't just look like scabby plastic. But once this reactor room is done, then the last bits of it are a little bit monotonous in terms of painting and coloration, but it's still a little challenging because there's lots of parts that need to be fit together. And then it's yet to be seen. It is yet to be seen whether or not the missile tubes came out okay. I've got some contact cement working on that, and I think there's still one or two missile tubes that are out of position. I do not know what's going on with the dogs up there, but one of the dogs decided that barking would be a really good thing to do right now. Anyway, that's what Dyson Dungeons is all about, and that's what relaxing painting with Dyson Dungeons is all about. And I am holding together the reactor room and heat exchanger, or boiler as it's called, trying to make sure that it's all in position so that after the cement sets, it can be installed into the hull. That one's holding. You want my fingers because they tend to stick. Okay. It's holding together okay. It's really not too bad right now. If I can set this somewhere. What I want to do is set it. Yeah, what's that? There's like a little flaw up there at the top of the reactor. I need to clean that up, but not now. And then there's here, hopefully that's just dirt. Yeah, dust. Yeah, a couple of little spots there that needs to be repainted. Yeah, if this will just stay where it is until the cement is fully set, it will be okay. I'm going to okay. So that's this part here, which is now installed here. This deck, including the reactor and the heat exchanger attached, slides into here. Okay. This deck here, and then there's a top deck that provides additional protection, I guess. And then there's this pipe that fits into the top of the heat exchanger that goes through this bulkhead, which is already installed in the hull. And I'm not going to mess with it right now because I need for that to set. Okay. I want that cement to set before I start installing pieces. So I'm just going to recap about what's happened here today. What has happened here today is that I was able to get the missile deck put together. And I'm really hoping, I am very hopeful, that when I take the tape off, that having all the pieces here, yeah, that having gotten that one missile tube relocated because it was really off, and I was able to pull it back. I was able to pull it back using a string. I lassoed it and pulled it. It clicked into place, and it's really close. There's another one under the tape that's kind of out of position that I might need to move as well. But I want to see if the contact cement was sufficient, and if it was, that would be terrific. If the contact cement was sufficient to hold all of those parts in place, and if they are, then the missile deck is done. If not, then I need to mess around with my lasso again to move some of the back row tubes so that they are not pushing up on the deck, which is why I put the contact cement on in the first place, because they were pushing against the deck. Boy, whatever is in this brush is not coming out, even with the isopropyl alcohol. Anyway, I am not going to be streaming because of the holiday. Everyone who's going to be watching streaming when they're, having the sugar plums dancing in their heads. Streaming's no fun. Can't compete with head sugar plums. So not on Friday and not on Monday, but I will be back next week, Wednesday. Hopefully, what we'll be seeing next week, Wednesday, is finishing up the reactor deck, because it looks like that's holding. Those parts are holding. Finishing up the reactor deck, and maybe before then, I need to fish. Let me show it to you. Let me just show you what I'm getting into here. The engine rooms, okay? The engine rooms have these decks with all of these built-in machinery things and all these connecting pipes. So the deck, I have to paint all the machinery and the pipes and everything, which is a pain because there's no place to hold them. Okay, and you need like 3 coats. And then painting the deck so that it doesn't get up onto that equipment. So it's, back and forth just to get the edges look clean. And then there's these bits that get cemented into the deck as well. So and then there's an escape hatch and a ladder too. Let's not forget about that. It's important to have the escape hatch. Basically, I need to find all of these parts. Finding the decks won't be a problem. What I'm hoping isn't a problem is that these decks are well molded, because sometimes plastic doesn't get into the mold and there could be like divots and things in them. So I need to find all these parts. I need to find the decks, all of these little pipes. Okay. Keep track of which pipe is which, because they all look pretty much alike. And then clean them up, because there's flashing and mold marks and junk all over them. Prime them, and then paint them. And what I might do between now and next Wednesday, what I might do, instead of having you watch me fish through the box for the parts, is at least find the parts. I might not clean them all up. I might do that on Wednesday, but if I'm real ambitious, what I might do over the weekend when I'm not doing relaxing painting is find the parts and clean them up and prime them, so that when I come back next Wednesday, in addition to completing the reactor room and hopefully just doing tiny little bits of rescue work in the missile room, is getting that done, is painting these, just painting the beige stuff. Basically, I'll be painting the beige stuff and letting it dry a little bit, and then putting a second coat on. And then after that dries, then I'll be painting the floors. Yeah, that. And the other thing I need to do is I need to find the top deck here. This is the outer hull. There's a door hatch that goes on it, and then this gets cemented into the hull itself. I can do that too. I'll look for these parts at the same time that I'm looking for all of these parts.
So that's what's going to happen on Relaxing Painting with Dice and Dungeons is between now and then. If I can get around to it, I'm going to find all those parts, prep them and prime them so that I can paint them on the stream. Since I won't be streaming, I guess I'll have time, right? I'll have the time. I could be streaming, doing stuff that nobody really wants to see happen anyway, because it's really boring. Almost more boring than watching me bore out missile tube holes. Oh, this brush, it kept its point better. This brush kept its point better when it had paint in it. It was all sticky. Well, the other thing I need to do is clean up around here, because like 2/3 of the paints are out of their holders and they're on the work surface and kind of in the way. Yeah. Anyway, yes, it's almost Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. For those of you who don't, we are in Hanukkah. I don't know if Kwanzaa has started yet. I'll apologize for that, but that is coming up as well. And there are other celebrations that people have, whether they are religiously based or not. This is a big holiday season. And so many holidays are all happening together. So those of you who are celebrating the holidays, I hope they are wonderful and joyous. Or those of you who are not celebrating, no offense meant. And I will be back in a week doing Submarine Wednesday, moving on to the last couple of compartments of the interior of the submarine, and then finally moving on to some of the exterior stuff. So thank you all for watching this during this stream or on YouTube. And yeah, that's it. See you next week.